we're gonna look at more drawings, because we still have half a stack left from last time. So last week we took a look through some drawings from way back then. There might even be some really old ones in here, but because they're not chronologically stacked, I just knew that the most recent ones are on top. Let's go through even more and rate them on a scale from I like them or I dislike them by now. So let's start it off with this funky looking fella. Interesting, there was even a test drawing for something else up there. But here we have this friend. And I wanna say, he looks fun. Like, this kind of amorph body, chicken legs apparently down there, which is really an interesting and funny choice. And just the fact that it seems to be a thing with like a wolf-like head is moving itself forward with walking on its hands. So this is an interesting design. I think I also did a little bit of a ridge thing in the back there, where like the spine would go down. So really interesting design. I would like to go a little bit deeper on that and maybe do more with it in the future. Like, I would love to know, was my idea of having that thing with fur, was it like scaly? Was it like covered with something other than fur, scales? Was it just hide? That's like, it looks so interesting. That's really a good one to start off with. Some worms apparently that look really funky, especially the big one. So comparison with trees apparently, even though they're still in the ground, I want to say. So just scaly with ears like the dragons, but the scales on the big one look interesting because they're like sharp ones and they have like dots in the middle. I mean, other than that, they're just essentially a worm with scales. Like, essentially, if you would not say like worm, it's a worm with a Y in it. Like, that's what it essentially is. Just, I like the scales on the big worm. That's the thing that I really enjoy about that one. Other than that, they are kind of bland. So, not an interesting idea, but a cool design on the big one, I want to say. So, therefore, I enjoy the big one more. Oh, I like you. It looks like a fuzzy giant thing that you would find inside of a cave, like a mole kind of thing, but it's huge apparently. See, there I drew it. I don't know why I'm showing it to you because it's on screen anyway. There I drew the person for comparison down at the bottom. Last week we had one where I drew the person for comparison of size up at the armor area for some odd reason. But that thing, I mean, there's nothing else of interest. It just is the body structure that makes it look more interesting than anything else. Because everything else is just kind of bland. You don't even know where the mouth is supposed to lay. Maybe you know where the mouth is supposed to be. I don't really know. And everything else is just kind of like, there's a tube and stick 4 more tubes onto it. So, I don't know why I find this to be so interesting looking, but it kind of just does. Maybe because it's one of the few things that I drew that has fur. Don't know why, but I like it. It's huge, maybe that's the reason. Oh, there's just a cool dragon head. There we go. That's a lot of things that I drew back then, just dragon heads. And it has even a cool plate on top of its head. Just a little bit of whiskers down as well. I think I tried to draw in a tongue there as well. Which, yeah, with the working out. I appreciate that one. I appreciate the dragon heads that I drew. Hey, there's another full on. That's just... Oh, I remember what was going on with that one. That one is only a copy and not the original. Reason for that is that was actually a dragon that I drew for a classmate back then. And she got the original and I just kept the copy for myself because I wanted to have it as well. And you look also interesting. Also again with having weird proportions with arms and legs, but back then I was just starting to do something like this. But dang, the little detail with all the small little scales and circles that I did at certain spots is like, why did you do that? You wasted hours of your life just doing little circles, and it's okay. I mean, if you do something like this, you essentially like it. It's the kind of thing that if I would watch a video of somebody doing it, I would feel so exhausted just watching it, because it's such a tedious task and I would not want to do it. But sitting down and doing that kind of tedious task myself, I don't mind it. I just do it and kind of feel relaxed by it. I don't know what it is about watching someone do tedious tasks that gets me more than doing them. But interesting thing, I like him. Probably more so because of the story behind it than the actual drawing. Because not even the head shape is really that interesting. The way the neck and everything falls together is kind of awkward. The wings also look a lot lighter in this one than on the one that I showed you last week. The tail is a nice touch. So I think this one has improvements over the last one full body dragon that I showed you. Still the same weaknesses though, just some made better. Ah, another one of you. So this body is a little bit more updated, still not at the point where the one head that I showed you there once was, but updated. This look kind of weird, but whatever. We know my stance to that thing by now. Oh, there's another. Oh, I never finished you. But there's another full body, like full body, where the wings are really small. And I went for a different approach with the scales. Like I made pointy scales, and it looks really awkward for some reason. Again, proportions from arms, legs is weird, but everything else is also really tiny, like squozen together. Maybe that's why I never finished him, because I don't like the design. Oh, there's another one. The head shape is a little bit weird on this one. There you go. The easiest thing here was to just draw the wings going outside of the paper so that they don't have to care about scale. Also started to draw in scales with you, but also left it like not even halfway in, like 1/15th in. But the head shape is just the thing that gets me so much. The legs surprisingly work a little bit better, except for the hind leg, than the arms. But the head shape, I don't know what happened with the head shape in this one. The tail is also kind of wonky, but I don't know why. There's also something about you that just bothers me. Maybe that's also why I didn't finish this one with the details. Not all of them can be good, not all of them, even when you draw them, are 100% what you envision. And that's okay, you can make drawings that you're not happy with yourself, because that way you learn what you don't like, what you don't want to do again, and then you can improve on that. With more drawings that you don't like, essentially. There's something of interest. Again, a giant thing that looks like the combination of a grasshopper and Godzilla. Again, with the comparison of how a human would look next to it. I am not sure what to think of you. Your arms are the thing that most definitely don't work for me. I think those were like quick drawings for like written down RPG, and I just sat down and made some visuals for some monsters that I created in that story. And yeah, I don't know. It has some interesting ideas, but it's not good. There's again my Misigno little virus form. Come on, focus. So it's essentially a smaller version of the big one that I showed you last week. For some reason I like the smaller version more than I like the big version, so take that as you want. Also, you can see that the black eye is not just completely black, but there's also one speck of white in it. Yeah, there's like what I call it right here, Misigno's true form. There's something weird going on with the arms, but other than that, it just looks the same as before. Just with a pen instead of a pencil. What do we have here? Oh, interesting. Another full body dragon. Maybe gonna have to do a little bit of editing there that you can see everything perfect as well. But yeah, this one looks nice. If you just take away the arms and the legs, it looks really good. I like the wings, I like the head shape, and the tail looks really good. Arms and legs definitely need to be readjusted though, because they don't work with the rest of the body, I think. Other than that one looks okay. There's just something with the tail and how the body moves into it that also should be a little bit adjusted. I can appreciate that one. It has a nice form to it, and just a few adjustments here and there could make this a really cool drawing. That said, I'm not gonna sit down and adjust a drawing that I did years back to make it look good for me now. Not gonna even touch that. But just wanna say, that readjusted with a few things would look really good. I would like that a lot. Oh, I was wondering when that was gonna come up. That right here. There is not a lot going on. I'm gonna be totally honest here. But that was something that I drew while I was at the military with a red pen, because that's all we had. And I wanted to draw like a hanging bridge above a canyon. So I wanted to draw the canyon wall on the other side where the other end of the drawbridge is. I wanted to draw on all the different elements. And just down below the valley where a little river was gonna run through and everything. This is one that I just started to draw randomly during the work and always did whenever I had a little bit of downtime. I never finished it. I kind of thought about finishing it back at home, that's why I brought it with me. But I never sat down and got to it, which is a shame at one side, but at the same time, just having the visuals and the idea behind it, what it should have become, is way more interesting to me than actually finishing it. It's like a story in the painting itself that would be cool to see the finished product, but it probably will never be touched upon, so that's where it stands. I mean, I don't know. It looks like a claw from a scyther that is a little bit more weird. Or it's a stinger from a scorpion. Do with it what you want. I have no idea. Oh yeah, there was a moment where I was creating a new creature. And I created just out of a random shape, I guess this whole thing started. The tail. I'm gonna be totally honest, I love how it looks, the amount of detail even in the fur above there and at the back where it would attach to the rest of the body. It looks really cool, even the two legs, the hind legs and the front legs look really nice in design with the fur and everything. The head is something I crossed them out because I was not happy. I had some idea how I wanted it to look, but I was not happy how it turned out. But the things that turned out with the fur and everything, they actually look really cool, and I would love to know what this full thing would look like, because I have no idea. And apparently I never had an idea. I had some vague image apparently in my head, but I was not happy with where I was going with it. So take those parts of the body and get creative, I guess. Maybe you find something where this would attach perfectly to. What the heck did I draw here? This looks like the combination of a hare and a kangaroo. It's funky looking. It's kinda creepy. I don't like the eyes. I don't like anything about this. This is creepy. I enjoy it. Why did I draw this? I don't know. It's fine. Yeah, we have that. I'm gonna cover those up because those are dresses. I guess it's like a bone and teeth on it. It looks interesting. I don't know what I was going with, where I was going with it, but it's interesting. Has some really hard edges and all, but not as edgy as the paintings from the last video. It's also drawings. Oh, by the way, edge, unseen forever. It's a cool eye. I don't know why I wrote that phrase there. Maybe it was because I was an edgy little person. And I'm still but the eye looks cool. There's a lot of cool detail in there. I drew eyes like that a lot afterwards. That was, I think, the first or the second time that I drew it, and after that I drew a lot more eyes, and There's a lot of them that turned out way better than just this one. I don't know why, I kinda like it still to this day. It's just an eye that may look at you, so be wary. Oh, you look funky as well. I don't know what paper I was drawing there. So there we go, again with my signature. The eyes. I think the main idea behind this drawing was just, I started out with the eye, and then I wanted to draw something around it. The way the mouth and everything looks, even the way the teeth are shaped outwards, not like inwards to the mouth, but outwards, is really weird. And the eye is just really freaking interesting to look at. Everything else is just generic shape. There's nothing else that's really engaging about it, but the eye is really cool. So I'm gonna give it a cool rating on the eye, and everything else is just generic. What am I looking at right here? I guess that's an X? I think I drew an X blade. It's interesting, I'm gonna give you that. There's also that signature, interesting. I mean, it looks cool. Way more flashy than it needs to be. Can a blacksmith actually do that? I would appreciate that a lot, to see that in real life. And here we go. Those are the most recent ones. Those are poker fusions. What the heck? Okay, so are you ready for that? Gonna have to do some work afterwards with that as well. But this is a dark trio combined with, I guess, blip bug was the combination there. That's why it has the weird like sunglasses on. It's such a weird combination. Also, the dark trio does not look too good. Oh my gosh, you are something beautiful. That's Horsey and I don't know its English name. It's Macholo in German. I don't know what it's in English right now. It's matcha tea, I don't know. It's match C, I don't know. C match? That's a bad name. Something about... There's something that went horribly wrong with the drawing at one point, so I don't know. It just looks fine. I don't know if all of them are from me or from my brother Plop as well. So we're gonna not rate them on a scale of how cool I made them look, just how in general the Poker Fusion looks, and they are funky looking. Those drawings were made before I made the Poker Fusion video on my channel, by the way. I guess that was a combination of Haunter and Lapras, if I had to guess, because it definitely is Lapras. And I guess it's Haunter that it fused with, but that's one evil Lapras, I wanna say. Looks funny. Ha! Best Pokemon ever. That's Jinx and Kakuna, I think. Or is it Jinx? I don't know. Chinkuna? Kakinks? I don't know. It looks funny. It looks like... It's definitely not Mr. Mime. I don't know what it is. I definitely don't know. It also might look like... That might also be a Kakuna just fused with an Octorok, as far as I'm concerned. Because that's what I see in that, so don't know. Really funky, really weird. Ha! 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 I like this one. I like this one. This is close to PP and... is it PP? PP Pixie, I guess. And Gengar being fused together. I'm not sure if it was Gengar, but it looks like that. And it goes well with the theory that Gengar is just the soul of a PP. So, Clefairy, that's the name. Clefairy. PP is the German name, that's why I'm saying it like this. Really, really cool combination there. Just having the eyes of a different Pokemon on that. But that was just that one Poker Fusion. There's also names that we gave to them. Perfect! They are amazing. Here we go with Magwag. Damn, I love that little body. That's the best face for this small bean. Oh my god, I love him. They have a lot more detail to them as well with shading and whatnot. I guess only the ones that turned out really well got shading. But damn, Magwag. That's my starter from now on. I don't know what it evolves into, but I love it. That most certainly was Hunter combined with Ditto. And I mean, it's just an evil Ditto. There's nothing else to it. Yeah, that's a great one. That's Fiertini. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Fiertini. It's the best thing that you will ever see. Like, legitimately, Fiertini is just an amazing Pokemon. I don't know. It's so funny looking. Kind of weird as well. That 100% has to be a combination of Snorlax and Ditto. Because it's legitimate, it's just a Snorlax with a Ditto face. Which in that case would just be a Ditto that transformed into a Snorlax by the anime logic. This is just super entertaining to watch. Like, we just drew a Snorlax that in reality is a Ditto. Then here we have Lyran. So this one looks weird. Specifically the backside of it. And I'm pretty sure, even when I drew it, I commented that the backside of it does not work out that way. But that's still how it was shown to us on the PokeFusion. That's not something that either Plop or I drew wrong. That's legitimately how it was shown to us, and we said that it doesn't make any sense like this. Regardless of that, it still looks cool though. At least the head shape, everything else is kind of just bald. But I mean, I like Lyran. And there we have it, the final drawing. And that is probably the best to end on. It's Greninja. I mean, legitimately. Sharpedo and Greninja combined together is such a funny concept. It just looks so dopey. I love it. Also, because of that drawing, the tongue that would be actually in Greninja's mouth, this part is really nothing but a scarf that don't know how attaches to the rest of the body. It just is there. Also, the arms and legs are not drawn easier from us. No, it just legitimately got the flippers from Sharpedo as its hands. Which, I love it. And there you have it. Those were all the drawings that I still had, except the ones in my little booklet, which I should sit down and draw more now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week and the last week as well. And again, everything that I've shown you in these two videos, go ahead, use whatever you want, redraw them, use it for something of your own interest and whatnot. All of them are free to use, all of those drawings. And just go crazy with them, because I encourage people to be creative as well, and those are fun to look back at, and maybe people can make something really cool out of the things that they did back then. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. See you all next time. Bye.